Howdy doody, everyone. Welcome to the Litpen vlog. My name is Rachel. I'm the head of product design and user experience design at Litpen.
I'm Michelle Noland, and I'm the public relations manager at Litpen.
Hi, I'm Jesus Noland. I'm the software engineer at Litpen.
So, something that I was thinking about was like, who are creative people? Because there's a lot of people that can try to be creative, but like, what constitutes creativity?
It's a good idea. Good thought.
Well, something that my professors always taught me is that everybody is creative. We aren't like this special class of people that were born to create things. Everyone is creative in their own way, and just because you don't happen to make beautiful visual art, don't think that you aren't a creative person that's capable of making something beautiful.
Yeah, I agree with that line of thought. Like, everybody has the ability to be creative. It just depends if you use it or not. And for me personally, it's just, I'm not an artist, but I just like to think of ideas for stories. I think of ideas for songs, and so I'll just have a notebook and I'll write stuff down. And that's to me, like, if you're doing that in whatever form of medium you like to do it as, like painting or drawing or just note-taking or writing full stories, I think you're a creative person, in my opinion. That's what I think.
I've been looking at a lot of street photography lately, so street photographers I've been pretty into, like Rinko Kawachi.
Okay.
I'm probably pronouncing it wrong. I don't know.
Don't know who that is, but it sounds interesting.
I found her under street photographers, but she captures like everyday kind of moments. So like, there's a fly that's sitting somewhere, and she takes a picture of that. But it's done really nicely. Like, it's very, her photography is very minimal. The colors are always really nice and soft, and like capturing very like everyday human moments. And I really like stuff like that. I like fly on the wall type things. So she was a pretty cool find for me.
Nice. That's awesome. I was like thinking, like, cause you had some really cool obscure person. I'm like, man, I want to seem indie and like I want to be obscure. I own an Ouya, and so you get like a bunch of indie game developers on there.
Ouya?
Yes.
Yeah,
Ouya.
what's that? I don't know what that is.
Okay. Well, anyways, an Ouya is a $100 game console you can buy. It's like Android based.
Oh.
And so I have one like in the back with 2 controllers, and so my wife and I were playing last week. Like, I think it was like Christmas Eve. We played until midnight. We played a game called Towerfall Ascension. It was pretty sick. And I actually tweeted the developer after I got like to the final level and beat the main boss that like, this is a cool game. Like, beat it only on normal. Hardcore is like even harder, but it's like it's like an 8-bit like Super Smash Brothers, but shooting arrows kind of thing. But they have like a decent like leveling, like a level like you can do cooperatively. So we were doing that, and the hordes of enemies just come at you and just defeat the level. So very basic gameplay, but really fun at the same time. So those are people that I look at, like just game developers, music makers. It's awesome. Yeah.
But I really love writers. Like, I love if you can come up with like witty dialogue and like anything like that. So I'm really into. There are American writers that are like that, but I like British comedy a lot.
Yeah, you do.
I really love like Monty Python and Simon Pegg and all those guys. So just a story and making it really unusual and interesting and funny at the same time. That's something that I really like. Yeah.
I think like one thing I've noticed that we really enjoy is we'll watch a TV show and then we'll go back and like talk about the dialogue and like what good was about it. I think like dialogue written well is like so awesome. Litpen, when I first came up with the idea, I was writing a story. It was supposed to be like this really epic like space fantasy story, and I wanted to like world build, and I wanted to like, and I guess if people don't know that, like when I say world build, I mean like I want to go in and I want a story. There'll be a linear based story, but then I want to create like all the characters and planets and cultures and peoples that will like, that will live in that universe, live in that world that I'm building this story around, or that the story will be built around. No, that the story will be living in and will live inside this world. There we go. That's a better way to say it. So when I thought about that, like I started thinking about like writing everything down in notebooks and going in that process. But at some point, you're writing a notebook and then you need to like look back and find it. And so searching comes into mind. Then you want to like categorize it in different ways, and so sorting comes into mind. And then you want to have it everywhere you go. So if I forget the notebook one day and I don't want to write in anything else, then I have to write in like little notes and then stick it in later. So it can be kind of messy. So like, well, what kind of programs are out there? What kind of software is out there?
Okay, well, for me, when you initially called me and asked me to come to the meeting, I didn't know what it was.
And when you say meeting, you mean like a group collaborative?
Well, yeah, the first time that
not like some scary occult kind of meeting.
No.
No. Come to the meeting, Rachel.
No.
Yeah.
When we first got together to say like, hey, Jesus has this idea to make this thing called Litpen, and we need someone to help it look awesome.
Yeah. Programmer graphics are usually pretty terrible.
Yeah. So when you first started pitching the idea of being able to break down an idea into its essential parts, and my creative process is very scattered, and this could be a cool way to visualize a creative process that could help me and help other people. And also I start and stop a lot of projects, and also being able to have a project live somewhere digitally where I could leave it alone and it wouldn't really decay.
Mm-hmm.
I could come back to it and it would still be in the same state that I had stopped working on it at.
Yeah.
So that's really cool too for me.
Yeah, like going back to like my origin story, I feel like the superheroes, like the origin story of Litpen. And like what you said, like the whole scatter thing, like again, like I had all these notebooks filled with like the world that I was building for this story. And when it gets really big, your brain can get scattered, and like you're trying to fit pieces in, and as you're writing one character, you need to look back in pages before that you wrote about another character and make sure you're doing it correctly, because you can forget. And I'm not a professional writer, so I'm kind of new to all these things. And yeah, so I can go back and organize it. And the way my process was is I was at school, I was also working, so I had a pretty full schedule. I was doing a lot of volunteer work at church, and so like the thing was is that I would do stuff incrementally, little by little. And so I remember hearing on the radio, someone was talking about their creative process, and that they don't like write a full song. They kind of like write like small notes. It's like, oh, cool. So what if you could like tweet your way to a book or to a novel? I kind of took that concept. So you start with like 140 characters, and that's essentially where like Litpen really started to be born. Was like you write a little bit at a time in these small little modules, and then later on you can like attach them and link them into like a greater thing. But for Michelle, like, cause you came in like a little bit later, a little earlier than Rachel, but a little later on to the project. I already had like code going, and so what do you think about the process? And you're like more of a writer than I am, so.
Well, that's kind of like why I was really interested in Litpen, because I love writing and I'm scatterbrained, because I feel like I have like explosions of ideas, and I'm trying to like
I know, I like that explosion.
I'm trying to like grab at all of them because I don't know like where they're gonna go, and I want to like write them all down in time before it like. For a second, let's just all do like. I'm sorry, I just like that. I think I could. Maybe that could be a Litpen feature. So yeah, anyway, explosions happen because usually, I don't know, when I write, it's always like in spurts. Like I can't just slowly write to something. It like I'm either in the mood or I'm not, and yeah, exactly. It kind of gives you a confidence boost too, because you see your idea slowly growing into something bigger than you thought it could be. So I really like that about Litpen, and I just think that I want to share that with people, because I think a lot of people need that confidence boost, because I know I did. When I first started writing, I was like, I'm horrible.
Yeah, that's true.
And then like the more that I wrote, the better I felt about myself, because I was like, oh, that was better than I thought it would be. Or
yeah.
So I think just giving people an opportunity to write and helping them see their idea come to life was really cool, and I wanted to be a part of that.
Like in America, we're so focused on creativity and being creative, in some aspects of our culture. But like, you know, what about the rest of the world? You know, like there's so many people outside the U.S. and third world countries and everywhere around the world that they have ideas. At some point, what I like to see is the ability for anyone, if they have a thought, to put it down and to like move along the process, and not let that be hampered by, you know, their financial situation, their political situation, of where like what country they're in and who they are, and like, you know, the culture of that, like, you know, maybe some kind of, you know, fascist type of society. I'm not gonna name a nation, but you know what I'm talking about, right? I want people to be able to have the opportunity, because I think the more ideas that people create and in different contexts, because like people in a certain situation, like I'm not in Sudan, so I might have some ideas about how the situation can be fixed, but someone who lives in Sudan and is living through that situation actually might have some good ideas of saying, well, I know what's going on, this is how you can actually help, like these are ideas that can help. We got to be able to like empower people around the world to be able to do that. And I think if we can start there, then in some way the world can be a better place. It's a very used line, but I don't know.
I mean, there are a lot of people who are already doing a lot of cool things with not a lot of means.
Yeah.
And
oh, sorry, for a second, let me get off my soapbox. I'm off. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. For example, there's that guy who makes instruments out of trash for his students, and he teaches them music, and they're called the, oh gosh, what is it? It was something really clever. Landfill harmonic.
That's a clever name. That's a very clever name.
It was so clever.
Yeah.
And just there's these kids who wouldn't have the opportunity to have access to instruments that are expensive.
Mm-hmm.
He builds these instruments, teaches them the music, and they made an orchestra of these children, and it's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing.
No, I'm just thinking now. You remind me. I forget the name, but there's a kid from the continent of Africa, and not the nation of Africa, continent of Africa. So I'll make that clear. Anyways, he's from a country in Africa, and he got like a chance to go to MIT and study there for a second. Because they noticed his ability to create stuff. He was creating like small radio stations, I believe, and he was working on new ideas. And so they just took him out and taught him some things and sent him back. And I just thought that was cool. And you know, when I saw that video, like the focus was on him being a genius in science. But that's creativity right there. Like there's creativity in science, there's creativity in art. There's no reason why they have to be separated in that context. And that's just a great example. Like he had an idea and he worked on it. And sometimes you just need a little more help. Sometimes you need to document things better. So I don't know. That's partly why, like for Litpen. So you want to write something, you can write something. You want to document like a scientific experiment, you can document a scientific experiment. So.
Even though right now we're trying to help writers as much as we can, really anyone can open up Litpen and find a use for it.
Right.
Yeah,
make a shopping list.
essentially, it's a documentation tool.
Right.
That can be tailored in so many different ways.
Yeah. And like, well, you know, not to sell our own can or anything, but like, what kind of phrase is that? Sell your own can, whatever. You can. The whole idea of just like, you know, you create this like really cool visual map, you know, and that's fun. A lot of people are doing that. But I think what's also cool about our platform is, and the way we're going to continue to modify it, is that it's an open platform. So that link that you share, you know, you can just take it, post it somewhere, just, you know, send it in an email. It's very shareable. It's not like, you know, hidden away in like an account. You can't share that in some way. I like that, and it's unique. So each idea is set as a unique place on the internet. Like that's cool. Like that's your home for the internet for your idea.
Yeah.
So I think that's cool. Like we have this open platform that you can share with anybody in the world that, you know, if they have access to the internet. So let's just get down with this today. I just feel like happy about life.
This is what Litpen does for you.
Right. Let's go. Love Litpen meetings.
Yeah, this is good. This is really good. All right. So yeah, thanks everybody for joining us. Hope you enjoyed the conversation. You can reach us at Twitter at MyLitpen, and also follow us on Instagram for videos and photos. Check out the website, litpen.com. Working on new features all the time. We gotta get back to work now, so we'll see you guys later. Bye! Bye.
Another thing I love, and I totally forgot to mention this about Battle of 5 Armies, no Smeagol. I hate that character beyond measure. Like, I hate that character. He's so creepy. Like, he wants, like, it's fine to be creepy. I'm partly creepy myself. But, like, the thing is, he also wants to eat you. I'm totally not cool with that. I am totally not cool with that. If you've ever been in a fight, like, the thing is like, you have this escalation of things, right? He escalates it to the highest measure. Like, he does not want just to kill you. He wants to eat you.
When did he want to eat them?
He wanted to eat. He's gonna eat Bilbo Baggins.
That's right. Yeah,
He's like, Frodo. Oh, no. Or Baggins is, right? Like, what he's gonna do, right? He's gonna eat him. It's like, oh, we eat it, don't we? And it's like, no, we don't eat it. We play with it. No, he wasn't just eating something when he. The point is, all right. The point is this: I just hate that character beyond measure, and I would kill him. I would straight kill him.